I'm really excited to introduce David Supple, CEO of New England Design and Construction, author and thought leader in sustainable luxury design build. We talk about what it really takes to lead with intention and deliver projects that balance innovation, responsibility, and high-level execution. Dave, thanks for coming down.
My pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. This was a long time coming because I know we were trying to have you at one of the earlier recordings, and we were going to do it through Zoom, but in person is the way to go.
Yeah, no, I'm psyched to be here and see your space. It's awesome.
Yeah, we were contacted by Oz and Evan from your office to do their quick interview series that they do with people.
Yeah.
And I had the chance and the pleasure of meeting them. And I honestly fell in love with those guys because, like I was telling you, they're like, they do such a good job at what they do. And they made me feel great, you know? And they were like two brothers, long-lost brothers from another mother, you know? So I loved meeting them. So they did a great job.
It was like they told the kind of origin story a little bit of, I want to interview you because I want to follow up on that. Ask you a bunch of questions.
Absolutely. We'll go both ways. But
right.
In preparation of sitting down with you today, I was thinking about a couple of things that I wanted to touch base with you on. I was thinking about a little bit of the history of New England Design and Construction. And I have to be honest with you, I watched your TEDx talk and I was inspired by it. And the timing was amazing in that I recommended you to my sister as well, who's about to embark on building a house in Cambridge.
Oh, cool! Thank you.
And I thought that you guys would be a great fit. So I made that recommendation. I actually forwarded her after I watched it. I forwarded her your TEDx talk because I said, Angela, I said, this is who I was telling her before, but after I watched, I said, David and his company, I said, this is who I was thinking you should work with for your project.
Thank you.
We'll get into that
Yeah,
later.
I'd be honored.
But tell us a little bit about the history of the company.
Yeah.
How you got to where you got to. For me, it feels like there was a huge splash of New England Design and Construction. Like all of a sudden, you guys were everywhere.
Nice.
But tell me a little bit about it. How you guys?
Yeah. No, I think I wouldn't say it's like whatever that is like claim to fame you've been pushing for a while, and then something happens. But we've been in business now over 20 years. Started the business in 2005.
05, okay.
I went to school for architecture. It's kind of the lead up to how I started the company.
At Tufts?
At Tufts,
yeah.
Yep. And I got out of school, started working as an architect, and the short story is I basically was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I've never built anything in my life, but my job is to tell other people what to build, and it just never made sense. And then around that time, somebody was like, hey, the derivation of the word architect means master. It goes back to ancient Greek.
Yes.
Antiquity.
Yes.
And sure enough, I looked it up and I was like, oh. And that kind of led me down a path of like research and something I'm extremely passionate about, which is just reintegrating. Short story is the architect always built.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you go back to dictionaries in the 1800s and English dictionaries, if you look architect and builder up, there are synonyms.
Yep.
They use the other word to define each other.
Yeah.
And but I went to architecture school. Like I got out of school, I was like, how do I not know this?
Yeah.
And it's really been this PR play where it's been made to appear that they were always separated, and it's not true. And so I started NEDC really out of still trying to fill that void to build. Basically, I stopped working as an architect. I started working as a carpenter just with the intent to fill that void I knew I had. I kind of, and then I got fired. I didn't have a job, and I started the company. That was the way we just kind of built up gradually. I did a lot of the work myself early on, still trying to fill that void. So
it's interesting how from getting fired led to this company, right? At the time of getting fired, it probably felt like, oh man, this sucks. What am I going to do now? To looking at what you've established now, it's impressive.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I needed a job, so
of course.
I kind of early on it was still just like a job,
Now, did you have a family and kids then, or no? No, not yet.
No, I hadn't even met my wife yet.
Yeah.
But it's just great, and we've always had that integration.
Yeah.
That's kind of like who we are. We don't design anything we're not going to build, and we don't build anything we haven't designed. And I just feel like that is the best methodology really for the end user, for the consumer and client. Yeah. And so I'm very, very passionate about that. And I really want to bring that back to our industry.
It makes a lot of sense. When listening to your TED Talk intro there, two things came to my mind. I said, wow, whenever it was that the AIA was created.
Yeah, it was 1857.
1857. It felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like so much ego was at play to say, we don't want to be so associated with the laborers. We're more the...
Yeah, it was a different time and place. So it's easier for us, I think, to look back at it and kind of. But at that time, there was a true. You couldn't rise in status to this title of a gentleman if you were, per the definition of a gentleman, which came from England. It was in their census.
Wow.
If you were like could have this label, but part of that meant there was no manual labor. Like if you were associated with manual labor, poop. Like you couldn't do that. So that was what they were up against, and that's what the problem they were trying to solve. So they distanced themselves from the trades from which they all came, and then they got it the way an architect shifted from an apprenticeship system, like in the field, to a university curriculum. And that's what's really kind of created the divide, because you had generations after generations. You had guys like me who got out of school who like the disconnect was just status quo. It was like it had always been that way. And, I had no understanding of know-how of building. So that's...
But I heard that story, the story you said where you were coming into work early as an architect, staying late, and then the builder called you saying, hey, I got this detail question, and you didn't know how to answer
That's
them.
right. That's right. I looked at the drawings. I actually looked at the drawings. I didn't know. That was my job, was really to draw. And I didn't know what I was drawing half the time. So when I was the only one there, this guy called up, and he's like, hey, we have this question that's like right now we need the answer. And I was like, I just felt so deficient, so insecure. And I mentioned that kind of spurred me to start to look into like, what is going on here?
No, it
like,
makes sense.
This does not make sense.
It makes sense, and it makes sense the way you built the company, the way you built it. It makes a lot of sense. I had a landscape architect on here, and I was impressed because I had just listened to your TEDx talk, and I was talking to him, and he designs landscape, but he also, I said to him, what do you do for fun on the side? He says, I build free-floating walls, without any mortar. Is that the right word?
Oh, wow. Wow.
And so he knows how to touch and feel the rock,
That's neat.
And
that's neat.
For me, the only thing I can equate to it is when I first started working with Mom and Dad, and we were still in the basement, I couldn't stand depending on installers to install everything. So I was doing the installations myself.
Oh, cool.
I'm a fairly handy person, but having known how to install it, make it, build it, do it, it just makes you better as a as a builder.
I mean, you guys are an incredible example for what I'm talking about. Because you really embody, you have a specific craft and trade that you aren't the middleman, you aren't the one, you're like doing it. You're like executing the work. And I think on an individual trade basis, that's how the architect became an architect. They rose up from a trade, and then they were the master of that trade. And then, the best of the best would take on whole projects and so.
Sure. There was another podcast you were on talking about a progressive house that you built in Somerville, right?
Yep.
I didn't have a chance to listen to all the details of it, but I heard just a little bit. Tell us about what that. Tell me about what that means, because it sounds very interesting.
It's the only passive house comes from Europe. And,
it's a passive house.
Passive house.
Oh, I said progressive. I'm sorry.
Passive
Similar.
House. Similar. It's close. So that is most passive houses built today are new construction because it's easier to do that way. there's a big aspect of it which has to do with solar orientation and how the house is positioned. So you're at a bit of a disadvantage if you're like,
if it's an urban setting or something.
yeah. So this is actually the only single family retrofit, meaning there was a house and we retrofitted it, certified passive house in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's basically, you know, the uber pinnacle of energy efficiency. You know, triple glazed windows, highly insulated, air sealed, has makeup air. So because it is so well insulated and so tight, it you know, we have fresh conditioned air coming in, and yeah, it's a really neat project. That was an awesome experience. It is. You'll hear a lot of now built to passive house standards because the certification is difficult. Like, it takes lots of tests throughout. There's a lot of, you know, things that evidence you need to provide. But the passive house principles are actually now integrated into Massachusetts State Building Code. The Massachusetts Energy Code is actually, of all the states, it is the most progressive.
Wow.
To use your word, it actually is. It's based on passive house. And so, you know, whether it's certified or not, that's a goal for us on every single project, is to make a home. And it's not just energy efficient. It's really, you know, the things that I think don't get talked about enough is you know, the comfort, just having a comfortable home, having a healthy home. And those things, you know, kind of go hand in hand with a passive house, or even, you know, applying those principles when one is building or renovating.
I'd gone to a builder's talk type of thing one time, Dave, and there can sometimes those. That's why I love that you're on both sides of the equation, and I loved your anecdote about a restaurant having a chef,
yeah,
you know, or two teams of chefs cooking, you know, one calling for the recipe and one actually, you know, cooking.
It would be crazy. It puts it to light that
it does.
The only just to interject, the only reason it's not questioned in our industry is because it's already separated. So like when I was at school, they would literally take quotes from like Plato. Plato has this quote of like, the architect is not a craftsman. He is a director of craftsmen. And that quote is used as to say, see, they're not carpenters and builders. But all he was saying is that they've risen to the top. And now they've turned around, just like a chef. Doesn't really cook a lot of the food so much anymore. The head chef, right? He's directing.
Right.
The only reason it's accepted is because it is that way. So when I was at school, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
sense.
how it is. Like, I'm in the classroom. I'm far from a construction site. It's like, it's how it was then. You know, but so I apologize.
No. I was sitting there listening to it, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. You know, and again, that's why I made your recommendation to my sister, because, you know, there's some time away from embarking on that project, but what an advantage to have both sides as one.
It is.
I love that. I was going back to the passive house. Can sometimes those building codes over restrict you, or, you know, make it too difficult? Or you had opened your TEDx talk about talking about making homes more available.
Like the housing crisis.
Yeah, the housing crisis.
Yeah.
If you're following all these super impressive and tight building standards, can it hang? But
I think it could. I mean, I think it could. Like in Massachusetts now, there's a stretch code, and part of that is if you're over a certain square footage of renovation percentage, if you're over 50%, or if I used to know this when it came out, I knew this at the back of my hand, but or it's over 1,000 square feet a dish, you have to bring the whole home up to a certain standard. So Massachusetts is definitely on the forefront of that, and I think honestly though, a lot of it falls back to not having a single source of accountability. Because a lot of folks, most projects are done where it's segregated, where there's a separate, I know like the projects you work on, there's probably a builder,
Oh,
an
yeah.
architect, an interior designer, and maybe even those things on the landscape too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 separate architect builder
Yeah.
on the landscape side. So there can
Yeah.
be 5 different, and we don't remove all those.
Yeah.
But we remove a bunch of them, and it is simpler. So
Yeah.
so like we like to put it in the client's control and let them know, like, hey, here's a project that you're not mandated to bring the entire home up to current energy code. Here's what this would look like. Here's what the cost is, estimated cost for that. Here's this project. Maybe this is what you really want, have told us you want, but this, and this is triggered. This is the cost. Then that client can evaluate it. That's a huge thing that we bring to the table, is not only are we, try to be creative geniuses and like hit it out of the park aesthetically, functionally, but just grounding it in time and cost. To have all that information together, it's such a much more efficient process, because that client can make a decision now.
Oh, yeah.
I've given them all the information where they can assess and say, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now, as opposed to, I think what happens a lot of times is it's like, it's a pain in the butt or whatever, because there's surprises. Like these things weren't, looked at. And big part of that is just not having one entity who is responsible for it all.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's something we giving them all the options in an efficient way. It's
You guys do that, I'm sure. Like
all the time.
All
the time. Do you want it automated? Do you want it whole house automated? Do you want it battery powered? Do you want it stationary? How do you want it to run? Similar, but on a much
no, but it
smaller.
It is. It is the same. It is the same, and it's like there's no. I love. Even if we're not perfect, right? But there's nobody else to point the finger at.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a good
I
point.
love it.
Good. It's a good point. It's easy to say, you have them all under your umbrella. I
can
love
make
that.
it right. I can handle it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
tell me more about the business. So you have your newer space in Lexington.
Yes.
Which is
very excited about
an amazing
that.
location. You can be on and off the highway in 30 seconds.
Yep. We're gonna plant a big American flag for the 250th anniversary of our country this year.
Oh, wow!
So it's it's gonna be like a gateway. The gate, because I don't know if you'll see it on 95. I was trying to make it a certain height. I was told it was too obnoxious and whatnot. So. And also I can do a 40-foot one without having to go through this special permit process, so I might do that.
Okay.
But I really want it to act as like kind of a gateway to the home was built by one of the 77 Minutemen who fought in the first battle of the Revolutionary War, so has some history to it, and we're gonna it needs some work. We're there now.
Yeah.
But we're going to has this neat barn we're going to renovate as our studio. And
hey, I was in that barn at your party. It was awesome.
Thank you for bearing the weather. It was freezing.
It was great. It was great. It was freezing, but you know what?
It was cool.
The pizza was good. The drinks were good.
Yeah.
I pocketed a couple cookies on my way out the door. Yeah,
nice.
No, it was great. It was great. You could tell there's a good. I'm happy for it, because you could tell there's, and I know it starts with you, Dave. There's a good warmth to your company, from the handful of people. How many people do you have there now?
26.
26. Wow. And that's a mix of project managers, architects,
designers,
builders,
administration.
Yeah. Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, no, I have an amazing team. And as you know, there's not, like, you can only do so much. So it really does take a team, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for them.
Yeah, for many years, in some ways still, but luckily we've improved it. Many years I was the bottleneck here, and
how so?
I had too much.
Like didn't delegate.
Too much information. Wasn't doing a good job of delegating. It's 10 times better now, and I have all these amazing people I work with here who are smart and sharp, and I try and always give them the freedom to make decisions on their own, and to make mistakes, and to fail, and we'll figure out mistakes together. And
awesome.
it's good. I like coming to work here every day, probably like you too. Yeah. David, Dave, tell me about the how do you handle, right? So for example, it's an issue for us here. As you guys are gaining momentum and popularity, and not popularity, it's not the right word, but like, you build this one great project, they recommend you to the next person. How do you manage the workload?
Yeah.
It's a daily challenge,
It's a good
right?
thing. It can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think for us, a big thing that I have tried to get ahead of, I don't know, but it's just the training.
Oh, yeah.
Because like we have, talking about our people, right? We have folks that have been with us for over 10 years and they know the system. And we have a lot of those people. And then you can bring people on and they learn from that, just from being there a lot.
Yeah.
But then when you're growing and you need new personnel, you don't have that luxury, right?
Yeah.
So I've been working on for a while just training to be able to bring in a new person and have them go through a systematic training. Like the best restaurants, I observe this, like hospitality.
Yeah.
You know when those people have been trained.
Yes.
Like you feel it, you experience
Very
it,
good
right?
point.
And so I don't want people learning on people's jobs.
Yeah.
I want them knowing, hey, we've learned over 20 years, if we do this, we success.
Yeah.
So it's really, I think that's how I look at it, because if I didn't have that, I would be freaked out and I would be scared to grow.
I know.
Really,
I know. It is. Growth is an interesting thing, because you want to help out that next customer, that next project.
Yeah.
And you want to do it to the best of your ability, but you got to make sure you have the firepower to do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, we've learned caps too.
Yeah.
We have like for us, the project evolution is like a lead designer and a project manager.
Right.
And we've learned like at a certain cap, like certain number of projects, a certain volume, like, okay, you're capped.
Yeah. That's it. No, we've learned that as well, the hard way a little bit, but we've had to, we've had some more retail shops come to us and say, hey, we want you to handle all of our window treatments. And we're like, you know what?
Interesting.
It's going to be a lot of work and a lot of hand holding, and I'm not sure it's the right fit for us. So we're trying to say no to those things up front just to protect us a bit. But cap is the right word. Dave, how do you you're obviously running around all the time with the team. What do you do for Dave? What do you do?
I am lately.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a pickleball addict.
You told me that. You told me that. Yeah.
And like I'm on my phone. I'm like, where are the games?
Huh.
My wife was actually a Division I tennis player, so she's a phenomenal.
Oh, she's good.
And I have my son just turned 12. He's an awesome pickleball player, so I love playing with them.
That's fun.
Still need to get my daughter into it, but I love it. It's really fun. I played football and lacrosse at Tufts.
Oh, you
and
did?
Other sports throughout so this is like kind of my recoming. I've always coached my son's sports, but now this is a time where I can go out and.
You played football and lacrosse at Tufts?
Yeah.
That is impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah.
How did you? There were 2 different seasons, so you could.
And there was those 2 where there was a season in between, so there was a split. I missed like fall ball for lacrosse. I couldn't play fall ball, but
that's impressive. Where'd you grow up, Dave?
I grew up in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Close to New York City. My folks were from New York City.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
What's your heritage? I have no
I'm
idea.
half. Supple is Irish. My dad's Irish.
Irish, okay.
My middle name is Muniz, and my mother's Puerto Rican.
No way.
So they hooked up in New York City. Irish Puerto Rican. What's that movie? West Side. Whatever that movie
that's
is.
That's an awesome combination. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Your son plays pickleball as well. I was a tennis player growing up. I was
cool.
okay.
We got to convert you.
I know.
I'm going to bring you out.
I wanted my boys are 16 and 15. I wanted my boys to figure out how to figure out pickleball, because the rules are a little funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll teach you.
So I wanted them. Yeah. Well, we went to Bossy down in Natick at that new facility there.
Cool.
And I hired a guy there, and I said, hey, can you teach us the rules? So we spent an hour, taught us the rules. And, of course, they start feeding us balls, and I whiff on the first like 6 balls.
Your son's there.
Yeah, because the ball just bounces different.
It's a wiffle ball.
It's a wiffle ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, long story short, by the end of it, we started hitting the ball pretty well, and my sons are athletic.
They were tennis players too?
No. They just played a mix of everything.
Cool. Cool.
But we had fun out there. We had fun.
Yeah.
My daughter never quite got into it.
How old is she?
She's 8. Yeah,
Okay.
she's 8.
Nice.
She can't. She's like
My daughter's 9, and
Yeah.
she's like cheerleading.
She does dance.
Yeah.
She loves dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing I've noticed with my daughter, Dave, is she can't lose.
Oh, okay.
So she can't lose.
Wow.
She hates it. So like we'll play games and stuff. If she loses, she goes bananas. Yeah.
God, she's
So-
gonna be your boss.
Yeah. She's already my boss. She kicked me out of the bed last night. Yeah, she took had to sleep in her bed, but it's my old bed from growing up. So
Okay. I know the feeling. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
My daughter and I joke that I say, "You're gonna be my boss," when she's like, "I'm your boss now."
I know. It's the best part of the day is when I get to go back home and hang out with them. I get to. It was always a challenge for me to kind of leave it at the door, But so that's cool. So how often a week do you play pickleball?
I mean, I'm gonna play every day this week.
Every day?
Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Oh. I usually like early. 6 a.m. There's games, and then like I don't do it in the middle of the day, but
you go to a facility or
yeah, there's a pickler in Burlington that I joined.
Okay.
Lexington has a pickleball club.
Like tennis, do they have different levels? Like, how do you know?
There is. It's the same rating system.
Same rating. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you kind of look for your games and
yeah.
It's really fun. Like I've just I'm addicted. If people who play pickleball would know what I'm talking about.
Singles or doubles though?
Both. I could. Yeah. My
good.
wife loves to play singles.
Interesting. Huh.
So
you gotta have some serious stamina for singles.
It is. You get a workout. Like in
Yeah.
doubles, you could get a work depending on the competition.
Yeah,
you may
yeah,
or may
yeah.
not get a super duper.
Yeah.
But like that's why you kind of need to find your right level.
It's fun to get the competitive juices going though, isn't it? Especially you. You played 2 college sports. I mean,
I love it.
I was a soccer player growing up, and then I was cut from the soccer team my freshman year, and my roommate was a football player, and they needed a punter and kicker.
Oh wow!
So I went out and punted and kicked. I was a terrible field goal kicker.
This
terrible.
is what?
This was at St. Anselm's College in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Wow,
Yeah,
very cool.
And then but I was really good at punting. I could punt the heck out of it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, how did I never play football my whole life? I said,
That's cool. So you played in college?
Yeah,
Wow.
I played.
Did you tackle? Did you make any tackles?
No.
Nobody ever ran one back?
No. I one time. So the coach would challenge a team. He'd be like, if anybody can block Manny's punt, I'll take the whole group for steak dinners. So they would come in like absolute animals. And I was like terrified. One time in a game, a guy absolutely leveled me. And
Just blocking you.
Blocking me. But
Yeah.
he was so strong. He probably outweighed me by 150 pounds. And he hit me so hard. And I never fell. I just went straight back, like it was like that I had snot bubbles and everything. It was the worst. But it was such a good game, though. I loved it.
That's awesome.
I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Dave, what else? I don't know what else
My brother, I was going to give him a shout out to my brother. My brother is a year and a half younger than me, and he was an amazing soccer player. But he he was our kicker in high school.
No way.
Yep. And somebody ran back one of his kickoffs or punts, and he grabbed him. There's this film where he like jumped on his back.
He's riding along.
Yeah, he got him down though, but it took like 5 or 10 yards.
Yeah. That's great though. That's great. How much family do you have? You have a younger brother?
I have 2 older sisters.
2 older sisters.
Yep, we're all kind of spread out. So my folks are still living, and they are like kind of visit them a lot.
Yeah. That's great, David. Well, Dave, listen, thanks for coming down and joining me. Anything else you want to talk about or bring up, or?
No, I'd love to meet your mother. I don't know.
Oh,
if she's here,
she's not here today.
Okay.
I know she's not
Next
here
time,
today.
Next time.
They went to Greece for They usually go to Greece for the summer.
Oh, cool.
And they decide this year, being mostly retired. Mom will never retire. She loves it here. She comes in and she just has a blast every day. But they went for the equivalent to Mardi Gras.
Okay.
So they went for Mardi Gras. They went for the beginning of Greek Lent. And they're sending me photos, and they're in shock because everything is green and lush and flowers everywhere. But when we go typically in the summertime, everything is like a desert. Like everything is burned and cooked, you know? So they're having a blast. Yeah,
awesome.
they have 2 great little houses there. They have one on the coast in Athens, and then one up in the mountains. And,
wow.
Yeah, and they have a car there.
That is cool.
They're great. They're great. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're coming back. I wish you could meet my mom. We'll find another time.
All right.
I'll bring her with me to some. There'll be something, I know. Oz and Evan, Oz was texting me the other day to know if I was going to this event at the New England the Luxury Design Summit.
Okay, yeah.
And I go every year, but this year
okay.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
And I said to him, it's probably a good thing I'm not coming, because the combination of us in some sort of, fun setting is going to be dangerous.
Get into trouble there.
But Dave, thank you for coming down.
I just want to give a shout out. I am wearing, these are the most comfortable
Yes.
t-shirts
It was
in all
a
the
gift.
Thank you for my T-shirt.
I have it on too, actually. It's underneath.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming
Pleasure.
down. Yeah.